What's up, my dude? Spency boy hitting the Deegan lines out here. Ho! Deegan is back. We just got that footage of Hayden Degan back on the Supercross track after his, little wrist, getting his Phillips screwdrivers out of his fucking whatever the hell was going on that stopped him from racing the Motocross Nations, apparently, okay? So, yeah, I know a lot of people were a little confused that he was already back out there on the bike. They thought it would have took a little bit longer before he would have been back like that, but boys, we only got 2 months till A1. This shit creeping up quick. Real quick. Whole squad on that reel, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like in this video I want to talk about sort of what I expect from Deegan, 2025 Supercross, what I think he's doing with his overall career, injuries, that sort of a thing. That's what this video is really about right here. So, there was a little bit of extra information that kind of came out in a really weird kind of way a few weeks ago. Deegan talking about there was some sort of nerve damage that the screws were causing. I don't know. It's kind of weird how he just decided to sort of mention that once everybody was on his ass about not racing Motocross Nations. It was a little bit like, hey guys, but it's actually damaging my nerves, so I had to get this done, little bit of that action going on, but yeah, I mean, regardless of the matter, we're past the Motocross Nations, whether you, hated Deegan for not going or whatever, we're kind of past that at this point, right? So, best thing Deegan could possibly do at this point is go out there and win the Supercross Championship in 25, and then go out there and Motocross Nations in 25, and get USA the Dubski. That's the best possible thing he could do at this point. And I honestly feel like he could make up for not going to Motocross Nations this year if he does exactly that. And I think he's capable of it, okay? Let's get into the actual, Deegan going out there. This will be his third year if you don't count the original, when he went out and raced a couple of those very first pro motocross races, okay? This will be him going into his third year, all right? He really only has one real championship, okay? I do not consider a 3-round SuperMotocross championship when the points are doubled and tripled and quadrupled and 420 times points, and you don't even have to actually race one of the series, aka Jet Lawrence, and you can still go out there and win the Supermotocross championship, okay? A Supermotocross chip is not the same as a regular Supercross championship or Motocross championship. I hate to break it to some of y'all boys, it is not the same thing. It is simply not the same thing. So Deegan still has not won what I consider the most important 250 championship to win, which is the Supercross championship. It just is what it is, okay? Like, that is so crucial for these 250 guys to get a 250 regular Supercross championship. I just think it's everything. Like, I really do. I really, really do. This quad's daddy. So, Spencer boy about to sneeze. He's the tee out. Whoa, big dog. Kept it on the track, boy. Check that shit out, boy. So, look, I'm not trying to take anything away from Deegan. He did awesome in this outdoor championship this year. He won the shit by like 420 points, okay? Not trying to take anything away, but I'm just saying some of y'all goofball boys that try to act like, well, Deegan's got 3 championships, bro. He's settle down, big hoss. Settle down, big hoss. 3-round Super Motocross, not the same. Not the same. Now, if it didn't have the, double points, triple points, multiplier, family feud, fucking Mario Kart bullshit, nothing makes sense, nothing matters type point system, then you might be able to say that a little more, right? But like, That's just my proof to it right there. You know, Deegan not winning that Supercross championship or Pro Motocross championship the first year, but he's still able to get to Super Motocross. And then Jet Lawrence this year, you know, wrecks out of outdoors early on, basically barely races any outdoors, but he's still able to go in there and win the Super Motocross championship. See, it tricks everybody into thinking that, oh, well, that means you were just the best in both that year. That's exactly what it means. That's what it means. When in reality, it's just, I don't think it's fully like that, bro. I really don't. Even though I do believe Jet was the best, and you know, I could see a lot of people thinking Deegan was the best too, but like, I just think in Supercross it's different. Regular Supercross championship, you get, if Deegan gets matched up with a Kitchen or, you know, somebody like trying to think of some names here, like a Shimoda, Hampshire, you know, some of these dudes, I mean, anything can happen, bro. I don't look at this as just like a, well, yeah, Deegan's got this wrapped up in the bag. It's not really like outdoors where you can just start, you know, super overriding and pulling the whole shots and you have a shitload of time to make up, even if you wreck. Like, the 250 Supercross championships are a lot different than that. It's a shorter series, so you're talking, you know, 6 or 9 rounds. They're going to have 3 shootouts this year, I believe. So 3 different East-West. Okay, that's really going to shake things up. But I'm just saying, you know, Deegan can go out there and absolutely dominate in outdoors, but then have some little thing happen in one of the rounds of Supercross this next year that prevents him from winning the Supercross championship. I think he's got a good shot of winning it, but I also think when you're talking about a 250 Supercross championship, anything can happen. If there was ever a time in any kind of pro AMA racing that I thought really, truly anything can happen, and probably the most random ups and downs and shit like that you see is probably in that 250 regional Supercross series. It just is what it is. You know, it's not a lot of rounds. If you have one race where, you know, you wreck off of the start or something like that happens, then it's very hard to catch back up. It's all heavily dependent on who goes what coast, you know. There's like all these other factors going on. Now, I will say Deegan did, you know, even though he didn't really want to actually tell anybody about it, he kind of came into this 2024 Supercross season with the injury, with the wrist injury that he now got fixed and coming back from, right? So he kind of had that going on, okay? I might learn these rhythms sometime this decade, I don't know. It's kind of crazy when you're playing and talking at the same time, okay? But, yeah, I think Deegan's got a good shot of doing it, but, like, I also wouldn't be shocked at all if another something crazy happens, you know, that prevents him from winning that Supercross championship next year. I mean, it to me, it still feels like it could go both ways. I would probably give Deegan like a, I don't know, maybe a 69% chance of winning it, and then like a, you know, 30% chance, whatever, of something crazy happening and him not getting it, you know? I don't think it's like a 90% chance he's going to win it, and it's pretty much impossible that something's going to keep him from winning it. I just don't see it that way, bro. I've just seen too many crazy things happen. I think Villapoto actually mentioned this on might have been the Title 24 or something podcast or some shit. He was talking about, like, you know, Deegan, like, you can dominate on a 250, but like that 450 is a whole nother animal, and I ain't just talking about the bike, I'm talking about the class. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the whole caboodle. Like, it's kind of like, okay, here's a great explanation for it. I just thought about it, okay? It's just like college football versus NFL. You could almost make the exact comparison that the 250 class in Pro Motocross Supercross is like college, okay? And then the 450 class is like the NFL, or going from college basketball to NBA, right? how many times have we seen these bad to the bone Johnny Manziel, how am I the man still? Bad to the bone, you know, the best of the best college players. They go to the bigger league and they're just not the same at all, not even close to what you thought. It seems like that happens more times than not, is what I'm trying to say. So, like, until Deegan's to the point where he's winning 450 races, I'm gonna keep my hype and expectation completely in check for Deegan. That's just what I'm gonna do. I've just learned that lesson the hard way too many times. I know a lot of people are wanting to see it. I want to see it because of being a fan of Brian Deegan and Metal Militia, you know, all that shit, right? A lot of history there. But, like, at the exact same time, I've also seen how easy it is for them to look just like a Hayden Degan does in the 250 class. And then for whatever reason, whether it be injury, team change, life change, whatever, they're just never that same guy in the premier class.